Hi, I'm Ron Martin, a longtime television news anchor at WGAL-TV in Lancaster. I'm here to talk about a role model of mine. He was a role model in my early days in television who often gave advice, and his name is Max Robinson. Max Robinson was the first African-American broadcast network news anchor in the history of American television. He was also one of the original founders of the National Association of Black Journalists. Max was born on May 1st, 1939 in Richmond, Virginia, to Maxie and Doris Robinson, a talented student. He later attended Oberlin College, where he served as president of the freshman class. He later attended Indiana University and eventually earned his degree from Virginia Union University. Robinson served in the Air Force and eventually received an honorable discharge. Robinson began his television journey in Portsmouth, Virginia in 1959, where he applied for a position at a local radio station that had a whites-only policy, which at the time was legal. Nonetheless, the station owner allowed Robinson to audition for a position, along with several white candidates. Robinson was given a job reading the news on the air, although he was told that his face could not be seen. When Robinson protested, he was fired. He moved to Washington, D.C., and there he worked as a cameraman trainee and in other behind-the-scenes jobs before becoming an on-screen anchor in 1967. He won 6 journalism awards for his coverage of civil rights events of the era, including the 1968 assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. By the end of the decade, Robinson was one of the most popular news anchors in the nation's capital. Despite his success, Robinson was sensitive to racism and its negative impact on him and other black journalists. Unafraid to challenge the management at major news networks, Robinson frequently spoke up against one-dimensional or negative portrayals of black Americans. He continued to advocate for a balanced and accurate portrayal of people of color in the media until his death in 1988. Well, Max was a role model because back in the early 1970s, there were very few African-American men who were anchoring the evening news. When we saw Max there, a tall, imposing sort of figure, he was about 6'4" tall, very handsome guy, wore a very nice trench coat, and we all wanted to be like him. Those of us who aspired for a position in broadcast journalism. He was an anchorman, the first African-American anchorman in the country, and he was really someone to look up to, someone to want to be like. And to this day, when I look back at other role models who've affected my life, Max Robinson is right up there at the top.